That's what we see Jay-Z has done. That's what we see Puff has done. The music don't become how you pay the bills. It's a lot of pressure off of it. You got other things bringing in income, you can make music.
This new song with Nip and Jay, what the fuck, I got something to say. What a slap in the fucking face. Like what the fuck is going on? Who told you that song and did you know all along? And why did your bitch sell that painting 2 weeks after he was gone? I'm gonna tell you what it feels like. It feels a little fishy. Feels like something's going on ever since that John Legend song and Khaled's prediction of a Grammy. If you ask me, I can't stand him. Seems a little weird. Question number 1, why is there no blood? Question number 2, Sam left in the AM is true, but you're talking about the shit's all up in the afternoon. Don't trip, we're gonna find out the truth soon. Who did what to who? Did they plan to eat the chili fries or was it just a surprise? Can you see the lies of witness in a cowboy's eyes? Are we gonna just sit here and forget? Are we gonna ride like Nip said? It's a little weird that the judge quit, handing out immunities like candy makes me sick. I got a lot of unanswered questions like, why is the footage all grit and I can't see shit? Who the fuck is that white man in that white BMW? Probably was the FBI. Yeah, I noticed that white guy, and I noticed the car wasn't in the pictures when they showed them afterwards. They thought we would forget, they got that shit backwards. They weren't expecting me to drop this track and raise all these questions with my Mac words. I'm really mobbing through LA smoking backwoods. I've been doing this shit all my life. TMC, AMI. You might just see an empty parking lot when you ride by. Well, me, I see way more. I see an independently owned store. I see the community taking power back, whether you're white, Mexican, Asian, or black. As long as you're not blue. Good ones, there might be a few, but from my life experience, I'm like, fuck that. I'm not defending Eric, but what's the fucking delay? They requested a quick trial, it's been over 800 days. They try to distract us in so many clever, creative ways. Yeah, you got your Grammy, and now you're a billionaire. But what about the families that are still living there? Seems a little unfair, just a little something to compare. I never seen a fireman wearing a bulletproof vest. Yes, the shit to me seems a little suspect. The shit's a little weird. Crisis actors taking away our fathers, making our child some bastards, killing creative men and women for their masters. The waves that Nip wrote in, you didn't know where to begin. A bunch of new chapters. You didn't think about what would happen after. You would put the pieces together on your transparent bullshit. I can see right through it, like the clear blue sky in the LA sunny weather, where the palm trees swing side to side and we ride together on a white horse or a double R hearse in a foreign car. Either way, you gotta be on guard because they're on tap for anyone who's brown or black with tats. Everybody sees it, but nobody wants to attack. It's sad if you ask. We all gotta blast back. We're in the game, though we can't touch the ball. Seems a little unfair if you ask me, that's all. So take your ignorant ass to YouTube and type in Tanika Views to get the real news. We're doing the shit for justice, not views. Sharing knowledge and coming together, that's the real tool. He tried to lead us to the lake, so don't sleep on the knowledge that he gave to me and you. He wanted us to learn from his mistakes, so with our new knowledge, good decisions we could make. And also one thing I wanted to say myself, they killed Dr. Sebi because he was teaching health. Assassins, they come in all shapes and sizes, big booties, hips and thighs. Oh, you're Diddy's girl, right? Oh yeah, John Legend, some things happen at your video shoot. I got a couple questions for you. All those strings you pulled, you still can't make a rap hit. You punk ass little bitch, you probably got a little dick. All the shit that you have to did. This new song with Nip and Jay, what the fuck, I got something to say. What a slap in the fucking face. This new song with Nip and Jay, what the fuck, I got something to say. What a slap in the fucking face.
What up, chat? Where my night owls at? Everybody here. All right.
Kicking big shit with my feet on them. I ain't even gotta touch the bitch cause her baby daddy beat on her. No, for real, beat her ass, then he...
Michelle McMorris, cashier. You got everybody in the building. Michelle's in the building. We got Killer Car in the building. Welcome, welcome. We got a lot of people in the building. Some people don't sign in because they don't want you to know they're looking, but they're looking, boy. I tell you, the video I just did on Bishop Jakes, man, that thing is gone. The numbers are changing every second. It's amazing what people don't know because they don't read and just listen to people. Michelle, you got to read that book because, man, why didn't I upload that while I had the chance? I don't know who put it out, but to me, whoever put it out got a lot of information, and they just hinted on one or two things. But that book should come out. There's no, it's out. It's number one, but definitely it is worth a read. There is no question about. Because, well, she said it because it seems like It's not big enough to be called a book. It's a diary. This is truly sad. Killed off another. It is really sad. But it's really let me start off by saying everything on this show is alleged and used for entertainment, spiritual, and religious and educational purposes. Well, what's really sad, Michelle, when I was listening to this guy, talk, I'm gonna play a video in a minute when you can hear. When I was listening to him, the it goes back to a lot of things. It goes back to the sad state of affairs of our people. I mean, coming from a military family, we understand why there's terrorism in the Middle East. They try and fool y'all with it, but we understand why there's terrorism. You know, if I was in the situation, some of those people in the Middle East, you probably would say the same thing about me. Let me explain what I'm saying. The reason there's terrorism in the Middle East is you can look at Saudi Arabia and look at all them kings. They got $100 million, and I said $100 million cars laced in diamonds and gold. They have $600 million 777s with gold. I mean, 24 karat gold as they walk on and all that stuff like that. And that's just the royal family. But that oil proceed money is not shared with a lot of those people. Some of those people wash their clothes in the Nile River, but they'll pay the United States to protect them from their own people and other people, but won't share the wealth. Now, my question is being, how long do you think I'm going to sit and watch you with diamond cars and everything in a land that belongs to me too, and I'm hungry? I'm not going to look too long, and I'm going to do whatever it takes. So what they do is they hire the United States as the police for the world, and we're getting involved with Israel's mess, getting involved in Iran and Afghanistan. Ain't none of our problems, all period. And yet we can't even get Chicago under damn control. Not only Chicago, hell, they try. I don't know why they keeping Philadelphia out of the news, but Philadelphia is really horrible. I think just last night, a beautiful young girl, 13 years old, just now started getting into fashion and stuff like that. And her and her mom and them sitting down, and a bullet came through the house and just blew her chest out. Okay, and this is the United States of America. And one weekend, a month ago, 140 people were shot in Chicago. What the hell are we doing overseas in those people's business? And we can't even manage the United States of America. And you don't hear nobody talking about it. Not even President Trump and Kamala Harris talking about what she gonna do. And her ass been in the office almost 4 years and ain't did shit now. You can easily tell she lying. That's the reason why she's not in the polls. So when I was listening to Cornelia Smith talk, the thing that struck me more than anything was, one, he lost his son, and he was making a step to do good and actually had a job and was doing good until his son got killed. And when his son got killed, he tripped back up and he said he got on oxycodone and was doing ecstasy at the same time, and started hanging around the people that he had got away from. And in doing that, he needed money. There was no way for him to get money. And I hear this quite a lot. So this goes back to this sad state of affairs of Black men that are willing to do anything to get money. And even the lawyer pokes a fun at him, which I didn't think was funny, and says, if they gave you the 50,000 pieces, what they were getting. The guy who told him about the hit, I forget his name, he gets 10,000 from each one of them. So he got 20,000. So straight drop. And Cornelia Smith got 40,000 apiece. Now, the thing that's so sad is he really believed in his mind that there was no other way for him to get money. And the reason why he did it was because he said he had to get money. He had to get money, and he didn't care. He just had to get money, get a hold of some money. And so what took me away with that, even though I'm out here hot dogging, styling and profiling, Trust me, I really am. I am having the time of my life. I have been to Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, one day in New York, and from New York back down to North Carolina. I'm having a ball. So I'm listening to this guy, this kid says that he had no way to get money. He needed money. And so they come up and they just didn't have $100,000 on Dolph. That was just for Dolph. They had $100,000 on Key Glock and any one of the rappers that you could shoot from Paper Route Entertainment. If they would have shot any one of those boys, they were gonna make $100,000. So they had up some money. If they would have killed them all, God knows how much money they would have had. And so what I'm saying is, I hate to say this, but it's true that young black men have become terrorists. This was a terrorist action. And America is experiencing terrorism. Listen, who would have thought that the most unsafest place for you to send your children is the school, because there's a 8 out of 10 possibility that somebody's going to shoot that school up, one of the students, and kill your child. It's happening so frequently in this country. And no damn President Trump or damn Kamala Harris is addressing the fact that our kids are being killed at school. I remember I was looking forward to going to school. I couldn't wait to get up to go to school, to get in the gym and climb the rope up to the top of the roof of the gym and come back down. And now our kids got to go to school, not even worried about being shot on the way, but they got to be worried about being shot while they're in class. Teachers now have to think about giving their life and being shot by a student instead of going to school to actually teach. This is the United States of America. How many school shootings have we had going back to Columbine? And nobody has came up with a budget to put people in school to find these guns off these kids, to get security. That I don't care. My kids used to have clear book bags because I wanted to know what they're bringing in my house. And they couldn't go to school and change it because I'd go up there and see if they changed anything or switched clothes or anything. And that was just the way it was going to be. Why don't all kids have, you say, okay, well, no, I'm not a hard parent. Let me tell you about one who happened in Chicago. I forget her name. It was sad. I read the story and cried. 17-year-old son wanted some of these little punks to come in his mother's house. His mother said, they can't come. No, they ain't coming in here. She says, it's not going to happen. I don't want nobody in my house. She proceeds to lock the door, and her 17-year-old son kicked the door down as she pulled off. And then when she came back, he was laying in ambush and shot her a few times in the head and killed her. Her own son. I bet you she didn't even know he had a gun. But I'm the only parent, I guess. I'm going to know what's in my house. I'd strip your damn room apart. I'm going to know what's in there. Oh, yeah, I'm going to know what's in there. And if I'm paying the cell phone, I'm going to know what's on that phone and who calling you, who not calling you. I'm going to know. And when my kids were younger and they wanted to go on Facebook, I had to be friends with their friends. That's right. And when you get grown, you can be friends with anybody you want to. But as long as you're in here, I want to know what you're talking about. Now, I can't be the only parent who was recognizing that things were changing a whole lot. I can think of an incident when my son wanted to go out and be with a young man. I won't call his name because his parents probably would want me to call his name. And he asked me nicely, could he go? But it was just a gut feeling that I had. I said, no, you can't go. You're not going with him. He's a wonderful young man, good friend of my son. They wrestled together, state champions and everything. I said, no, you can't go. I'm sorry. Maybe some other time. The Friday night, I said, no, you can't go. And so we were sitting down and the 10 o'clock news came on, and the 10 o'clock news is on our block because that kid was missing. He was missing. He didn't make it back home. And so we waited 1, 2, 3 days. He was still missing. And nobody really knew when he left the party which way he really went. And so then the police department started to guess and just, try to figure out, ain't so many ways you can really go. And so there was a little lake, and they said, well, we just have to search the lake too. And about 3, 4 days later, they found him not in the lake. He went in the lake, but he actually went down in the soil because it was so moist. They wouldn't have never found him if it wasn't for technology, because he went under the mud under the lake and he died. And I couldn't help think, but if my son had went, he would have probably been there drinking at that party too, where some young kids' parents had taken off. And while the parents had taken off, the kids decided to throw a party without their parents' permission, which led to one boy dying. This is not Chicago, this is in the suburbs. $500,000 homes just to start. And so my point of the matter is, I just can't believe that we're not recognizing that something is in our community, and whatever's in our community, it is turning some of our young people into terrorists. These are not just criminal acts. These are terroristic acts. I I could play Young Dolph's video because they got it inside the store when he was in the store, and I won't even play it because it's just really too sad to look at. Other people are playing it, but I I, I just don't like it. See them boys shoot up that boy like that. It was more than jealousy. They wanted some money. They were thirsty for money, and they saw that as a payday. They, their brains can't process the damage that they've done in that community. As he's sitting on the stand talking about, they knew that they could get him and kill young Dolph because, listen to this, there is a turkey drive. And every day, they were giving out turkeys. So they knew that they could get somebody, Key Glock or somebody from PRE, it didn't matter, because of the turkey drive. And why did they want to do it? Because they were being offered money. And that's not the biggest sum of money, but $100,000 is a lot of money, especially to a person who ain't got none. And I found that to be sad. And I found it to be the same thing going on in every other city in the whole world. So it don't make no difference about Memphis. And, people are so hungry that for $500, they kill one of you because they're so hungry and think that what they did was good unless they get busted or get caught. And I don't see anybody in any position of authority really taking this serious. The only time I see seriousness is when a white school gets shot up by a white child. Then I see them get serious or talk strong for a little bit. They talked years about Columbine. They broke Alex Jones because of Columbine. But my whole point in saying that, look how many school shootings we had since then, and nothing has been put in place. It is terrorism. And yet we interfering in everybody's business in the whole world, trying to take care of home. I'll never understand it. Michelle says, well, that is hypocritical. Doulp was a father, son, and a brother. Yeah, but look who he was killed by. He was killed by young men who looked like him, young men who should have celebrated him and said, man, look at that boy, he going. If he can do it, then I can do it. And they could have worked harder and maybe had a chance. They killed the very guy that had their craft together, at least straight drop, he could rap. Doulp probably would have gave him a deal. I mean, that's my point. This hopelessness that our people is feeling, even our women, are so desperate for money that they're doing unthinkable things. People who you would think had self-esteem and had morals have no morals at all. They're being driven by money and other people's money, other people's success. It has gotten out of control. And of course, if I believe the Bible, it ain't never going to be in control. But my point in the matter is, when I heard him say he needed money, I was like, wow, for the love of money, truly, the love of it now. The love of money truly is the root of all evil. What's up, Killer Carl? You in the building, man? What's your take on the young dog situation?
What's up with you, Tanique, man?
You got the best
Um,
hand. If I had yours, I'd trade mine here.
man, appreciate it, man. Man, I I watched the video my first time earlier, and it was definitely jaw dropping. I mean, it's really kind of remind me of the Nip situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It's definitely similarities.
A lot of them. And that's the other thing that made it even sadder. Nip was in 2019. That was in 2021. It's just back to back like that. A father, entrepreneur. It's just it still don't sit right. If you remember what happened in Memphis that day, I believe that God wasn't even pleased. The minute that boy was killed, Memphis suffered a huge earthquake, and it stretched from Memphis all the way to Missouri. People forget about that. When has Memphis been having earthquakes? They ain't had another one, but they had one that day, and it was pretty high on the Richter scale. He hadn't even got cold yet, and Memphis had an earthquake that went from Memphis all the way to Missouri. To me, I
November
think that was,
17th.
yep, I believe that that was God being unpleased with what happened to that boy, investing back in his community, paying off people's mortgages and stuff like that. That's why it's lit like that. They're not killing down there for nothing, man. He was doing something, I think, even further than what Nipsey was doing. He was actually paying people's mortgages off for them. You know, how long you been paying for this house? We got another 20 years. Oh, let me go. I'm gonna pay your mortgage off.
Yeah. I heard Dolph, man, I heard he had over 100 million in real estate.
Maybe he did, but it's the other things he was doing for other people that stands off. You know, I mean, uh, helping people open businesses. Dolph invested in churches that were about to foreclose and closed up. I mean, the guy was really he wasn't trying to buy the block. He was trying to help the entire city off just one little talent and was actually doing it.
Yeah. It's jealousy and envy, man.
Uh, it's just incredible. And instead of these guys, you know, uh, there's a place in Tennessee I learned about, and it kind of tripped me out to know these nice looking homes and stuff over there. You know, they're about $200,000-300,000 homes. But guess what? They don't have.
What?
They don't have a garbage service. So the people have to literally drive all their garbage to the landfill where you burn it up and stuff like that. Bro, do you know it wouldn't take you but a couple of garbage trucks that you can rent on contract to go into that community and become an instantaneous millionaire? No joke.
Yeah. Yeah, taking trash, right?
Mhm. Picking up
Somebody
they trash,
taking that
putting you
trash.
out them garbage cans out there and start your own garbage business. And the trucks are so easy for you to rent. And because they rent those trucks, and most trucking companies, you think they own the trucks, they don't. They rent those trucks, and when those trucks get 400,000 miles on a 450, they want to get rid of them, and they wind up trying to sell them to drivers or the smaller companies because that's when the warranty and stuff goes off. They don't own those trucks; they just got their name on them. They rent them. They rent them from Peterbilt. They rent them from Kenworth. They rent them from Mack, and they put you in them, and you're working, and the money you're making for that company, they're paying for renting those trucks. And like I said, when you get about 450, 400,000 miles on them, they really want those trucks gone. So they will sell them at a higher price to little companies and pay those trucks off and then put you a new one and keep the contract going. That's why so many of them truck companies are going out of business. It's not because they ain't got contracts. It's because they can't pay those rental prices for those trucks, then pay the driver and then make a profit as well too. But I'm looking
Also,
at
the
this
trucking
neighborhood.
business is scheme too, basically what you're saying.
Yes, you're definitely screwed. But I'm looking at this place down here where if you had 4 garbage trucks, my God, man, you'd be an instantaneous millionaire. And it don't take a lot for you to actually get uh, these garbage trucks, and you could employ people, and profits would be turned in a month. So look at this brother say that he saw no way to get money. This is a way for him to get money. I'm like, bro, who you been hanging around? There's plenty of money out here. Good
Yeah.
money, clean
Yes.
money, but in his mind, killing Dolph was the only thing that he saw. And so to me, Big Jook took advantage of these guys, knew they was desperate, knew they needed money, and started waving that money in front of them. And then they went and did this. The TD Baby says, cool, and everything is right. Dolph was going to do it, but they got rid of him. And then Toon Baby says they take out the ones that's trying to help. Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? I gotta wonder, is some of this the government? You know, in entertainment contracts, y'all be talking about the 360 deals, but I'm gonna try and find that one contract I got. Those contracts, you know, they tell a lot of entertainers that you cannot go and help your family and stuff.
in them
Um,
contracts.
yeah, they put that in the contract. They take like if you would have signed a rap contract, bro, you are owned by the entertainment. Okay, you can't have no woman darker than you. You got to have a light skinned woman or one who looks light, eyebrows arched and look Asian. You know, that's why Dolphin signed that contract because the first thing in it, you got to get rid of your dark woman and 2 kids and get a light one or a white one.
Yeah, I
And he's
think
like,
Dolph was. I think Dolph was doing too much talking too, especially when he was talking about that 22 million.
yeah, yeah, he wasn't gonna sign that contract and he made all that money on his own. Michelle said our minds are set in the black community. Wasn't Dolph trying to stop that pipeline? I heard some stuff like that, but I really didn't even study that particular part of it because I just think some of this should be somebody listen. I'm not trying to be hard on the church. I come from the church, a part of the church. What the hell are these churches doing in our damn communities other than meeting and taking your fucking money on Sunday morning? Why ain't they in the community? When I got involved with church, I didn't go to no church. The church came to me. They were having a street meeting and they had one every day. Somebody who wasn't working had a street meeting every day. And I'm like, what them people doing? Why they always over there? They over there every day. They had bull horns and they had like musical instruments on the outside. I thought that was pretty cool. And I went over there and took a look at that. And I was like, man, this is pretty cool. And they like, they down at the church. So I'm like, okay, well then if y'all down at the church, why y'all out here having church? But you know what? There was no crime in that community. You know why? Because church people were walking up and down the block, even Jehovah's Witnesses, all time of day, all time of night. And that community was one of the safest communities in Chicago at that time. Oh, well, it's not safe anymore. You know why? Because none of those church people are having street meetings or doing anything outside. They only come on Sunday morning, collect your money, and they leave. So why should the
Yeah,
city give them free water? What the hell do they do in the community? They won't even let you have your funeral there. You couldn't have a church in my city if people couldn't have the church has to be a community thing. It just can't be a thing for members. It had to if it ain't service in the community, you cannot open it in my city. I would never have it. You're doing community
yeah.
funerals. You are having programs for all of the old people to come play bingo and do something to get out the nursing home. If you're not servicing the community, we don't need you in the community. Get the hell out of the community.
Hey, I remember when I was younger, bro. Like man, the white churches they used to come to the hood and pick us up and take us to
Mhm.
church.
Mhm. And they buses and fed you
Yeah,
and
they
everything.
had vans.
Yep. We had they
Yeah,
our
man.
white churches had buses, right? That's what I'm saying. But now they don't even do anything. They too busy jumping up and down trying to pretend to be black, but they're not servicing the community. They're
Yeah,
not
man. It's
they're not servicing the community, man. They get free water. Think of the next time you pay a water bill. Big old giant church with $100,000 water bill, it's going free because they got 501c3s, and yet they're not doing nothing in the community. They're not meeting with gangbangers. I mean, I come from a city where, Chicago, we had, of course, Larry Hoover, and then we had Jeff Fort,
David Barksdale.
yeah, David Barksdale. David Barksdale had died, and so you had the Gangster Disciples and the El Rugans. I remember vividly, I was a little kid, when the FBI infiltrated the Gangster Disciples. These young boys don't know shit. They infiltrated the FBI infiltrated. Of course, they used black people to do it. The Gangster Disciples, and they infiltrated. Hey, Browning, they infiltrated the El Rugans. They infiltrated, and it was coming to the point to where the biggest war in Chicago was going to happen. That was the Gangster Disciples against the Rugans. That was going to be bad, bro. I mean, that was really going to be bad. It's ironically that at one time, in the past couple of years, that Jeff Fort and Larry Hoover was on the same cell block or maybe even cell mates, I don't know, at the Colorado Max federal prison in Colorado. But my point in saying that, there was a bishop. He wasn't even a bishop then. He started a program called the Woodlawn Organization. His name is Bishop Arthur M. Brazier. He's one of the greatest bishops to ever come out of Chicago. You know, that man took from his pulpit and went and met with those leaders of that gang and explained to them boys that you guys had been infiltrated by the FBI. He told them about COINTELPRO. They didn't know anything about COINTELPRO. He told them about COINTELPRO and stopped the biggest gang war that would have ever happened in Chicago. Probably, I'd say maybe if that had went down, 25 to 30% of us would have been wiped out. That's the
Hey,
kind of
why?
power.
Now go ahead. What you was saying?
That's the kind of power that they had. Every time we saw Hoover, there was 15, 20,000 men with him. Every time we saw Fort, there were 25, 30,000 black men with him every single day. Every single day.
Hey,
And so
why that pastor didn't start the BD and GD war?
because he had died, and these are kids. He had died. These kids are old as my kids, man. These kids are young as my grandchildren. All right, they don't know what they're talking about. The FBI came in after rap music changed. You have all this stuff is documented, but watch I put my life on the line and tell people all this stuff. Now FBI rolling up on me. Ain't nobody supporting this channel, man. Me getting arrested, telling the historical facts. But the truth of the matter is, when they had the secret music meeting, this meeting wasn't as secret as y'all thought it was. And what it was to change the narrative. They didn't want no more Brenda had a babies. They didn't want no more I get around. What they wanted was real gangsters who could rap and tell real stories of what they did. In other words, they wanted dry snitching. And the reason why they wanted to do it is because the FBI did a study in the 60s and found out in this study that they could control Black people by television and by radio and music. That was the worst thing that they could do to find out. And they're controlling us through television and through the things that we hear. Our kids are coming up violent because they're listening to violence. They're seeing violence in these videos. And yet, at one time, you could say that guy ain't even did that. But now, you're looking at guys, they're praising them. Why does everybody have a channel dedicated to drill music where these guys are harping about killing people? Why
It do
are
make
we
you think though.
why are we sitting up listening to Julio talk about people's dead loved ones, or listening to Young and Ace talk about people's dead loved ones? Why are we listening to it? They're controlling us by what we hear. Your eyes and your ears are the gateways to your soul. And they know this. And so what they did was they came in with a big massive swoop in Chicago and just arrested all of the generals, all of them, man. I mean, every single one of them for nothing, mob action, wherever they could, and gave them long prison sentences of 40, 50 years, and for doing nothing. And so when they did that, there was nobody there. There was nobody there to tell these kids anything. And you got young mothers with all these kids now. And okay, they pops and stuff in jail, or they pops were dead. The FBI arrested them, getting 40, 50 years for nothing. And so now these kids, they don't know what happened. They don't have the slightest idea what was going on. So they begin to make up their own rules. And then some say, you know what, we're not going to be this. We'll break off these initiatives and we'll become BDs. And the other one say, well, I'm going to stay loyal to my father. I'm going to be GDs. And they don't even have the slightest idea that they talking about the same damn gang. The same gang is killing each other. And the only thing is that they all Black. That's why don't nobody really care. And Bishop Brazier did his job. He did a great job and he died. But there were other people too. There was Richard Hinton. These powerful men were involved in the community, not just behind the pulpit. They weren't just there for your money. They made it wherever they went, the neighborhood got safer and got better. As a church grew and they had to move to a different neighborhood to build one, then that neighborhood got safer and got it better. And they kept it dead in Chicago, dead in the middle of it. And they kept those burners down. You know, they let them guys know you ain't gonna make no money if you start letting off burners. You know, burners bring cops around. If you get a guy pumpkin head, but don't, burners ain't gonna do it. And they kept the community safe. Now they got these new bunch of people who they want the money and stuff like that and suits, but they're not willing to get out and put their life on the line for the community. So that's one of the downfalls of our community, and and until that change, or if that change, I don't think it will, because most of them have churches in Chicago but don't even live in Chicago. They live out in white neighborhoods off your money.
Hey, look though, but Tony, you what kind of deal you think they offered dude that was on the stand testifying?
I don't think they offered him any deal. I think that, like he said, he tried to BS them when he was in Mississippi. And once they laid out and showed him the video evidence and everything, and you got to remember, they wasn't just relying on what was in Makita's cookies. They got these guys at the apartment. They got these guys. They got him bleeding. Oh boy, looking at himself bleeding. They got his girlfriend pulling up in her Chevy to pick him up. They got the license plate number. The police got everything they need. I don't even know why the hell they even having the trial. This is the time you cut a deal and try not to get a life sentence. Hopefully, you could do 20 years because you are plumb guilty. There's no way in the hell that any one of those, anybody involved in that case, is getting off after that guy testified today. He said, me and this man, we killed this man. We had this Draco. This was the color of the Draco. We had this gun. We put this car here. Then my boy called. I left my phone in the car. He went and got the phone out the car, and he had me pick it up at the car wash, right next door to the cookie place after we got cleaned up. You got straight drop going with get the bags from Walgreens, medical supplies, to doctor on their wounds. Man, what the hell are they having a trial for? And why did they wait this long? And about maybe 400 to 500 people have been killed because they didn't come out and say, you know what, y'all calm down. We know who did this.
Yeah, it do make you think because if you think about it, bro, if he admitting and confessing to the murder and basically, what I'm saying, putting straight drop in it, they had to offer him a deal for him to be confessing to a murder on the stand.
No, you know what I can tell? This guy, he gave up, man. Great reality. He hopelessness set in, and even he realized he didn't have no hope. And the guy gets up and say, you know what, tell these people before you testify, are we offering you a deal? He said, no. He said, where you going after you testify? He said, straight to jail, straight to prison. He said, I know. And that's the first thing the prosecutor asked him, let these people know you ain't got no deal, you ain't gonna get no deal, you going to prison. So I'm gonna let the people
So
see. Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead, finish. Go ahead, finish.
I'm gonna let them see some of the video and some of the testimony. It may be a little scratchy, but take a listen to it and listen to the guy tell what happened to Doulp, and you'll see what I'm saying.
All right, I'm about to get my phone
The
charged.
said
Hold on.
Justin Johnson
Okay.
offense. The said Justin Johnson, 15 years. Ours was repurposed and renovated and redone. Amazing building now. It has first last name.
BLUEHOPKINS.
You go by Blue, is that right? Or Mr.
Yes, sir.
Blue or something?
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Real name is Raul.
I'm trying to fast forward it. Don't worry. Hold on.
On Doulp.
And had you agreed to do this hit?
Yes, sir.
Had Justin agreed to do?
Don't worry. I'm just trying to fast forward it along. don't know why they sound like that.
Today, if you remember.
He had pulled up to get me. He came and got me or whatever.
Where'd he get you from?
He got me from my father's house.
Where's your father's house?
Out of Lamar Sims.
Orange Mound area?
Yeah.
Had
That's
either
where
you
Idiot
called
Smith
him or he
testified.
called you or anything like
He
this?
had called me the first time I missed the call. Then he called me back. I answered. He was telling me basically they were pulling up because we already knew what was going on.
When you say you already knew what was going on, you already knew that this is about?
Yeah, because we knew they were doing a turkey drive, so we was actually on our way to Westwood.
Had you and Justin talked about this particular day before?
Like, nah, not the specific day. Like, we just knew that it was turkey drive going every day that week.
Okay. You knew that, is it fair to say that you knew Doulp was involved in these turkey drives this week before Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we didn't know we were going to catch him, but we knew he did his artists. You know, everybody had a hit on their head. Everybody had a price on their heads.
From Jook?
Yeah, from Juke.
And that was going to be y'all's business this week?
Yeah, that was our beating week.
When he arrived at the house, do you remember what he was driving?
White Mercedes-Benz.
Okay, had you seen that car before?
Nah, I ain't never saw that car.
Did you get in the car with him?
Yeah, I got him.
Was there anybody else in the car?
Nah, it was just me and Justin.
Were there any guns in the car?
Yeah, they was on the back seat in the bag.
Do you remember what kind of guns there were?
A Draco, handgun.
Okay. And Draco, Memphis, some type of bigger semi-automatic weapon, is that right?
Yeah.
And then a handgun? Do you remember what you were wearing that day?
I had on some gray sweatpants, orange and white Jordan 1s, and a blue Gap hoodie.
The blue Gap hoodie?
With a do-rag on.
With the do-rag on. Did y'all have gloves?
I had my own glue.
You had your own gloves?
Yeah, his own glue.
When you got in the car, did you have your gloves on?
Nah, I ain't have no gloves on.
You said Justin had his own gloves?
Yeah, he had his gloves on. Black gloves.
He had his black gloves on before he picked you up?
Yeah.
Does he get out of his car and pick you up, or do you go up to the car? How's that work?
Nah, I got out the house, came out the house, and got on in the car.
Okay. Off to do the mission.
Yeah, do a mission, try to catch you. Somebody.
Try to catch one of the rappers?
Yeah, one of them.
When you hear something like that, and and then they go into the video, and the video shows them actually getting to the place where they change clothes. Yeah, he sounds uneducated, but that's what he's saying. Uneducated, can't get a job, hooked on drugs, he ain't got no way to make money, and somebody come up and offer them $100,000 on any one of the guys. He told you they didn't know if they were gonna get Doulp. They were looking to shoot the other rappers who were out handing out turkeys that were signed to Doulp's company. And then and he goes on further to say that they just happened to see Doulp driving past, and in his Corvette, and the Corvette was flamed up. They talk about the rap. Even the lawyers talk about the rap that he had, and that's how they knew him riding around that town. And so to me, when I thought of that and heard that, first thing I thought about was Julio Fulio. He know they want to kill him, and yet he goes live, letting everybody know he's having a party. He know that his enemies follow him, his tweets, his enemies, they even talk sometime on Instagram. And yet he's gonna go live and let his enemy, he know he's in a real battle. This is like no other battle. Bodies have dropped on each side. They shot his mother, and his mother ain't had nothing to even do with it. All right. So why in God's name would you go live and tell your enemies, and you ain't got no pipe, you ain't got no security, none worth having as far as I'm concerned, and tell them where you are. And they leave Jacksonville and drive 3 hours. The police got them driving. I mean, the police got cameras all on the freeway. They got them driving all the way down to Tampa from Jacksonville just to kill this guy because he said he was having a pool party because he went live. So to me, it kind of brought a thought in my mind like, man, why would Dolph ride around in such a common car that people gonna know he would be in? Or even if he
All
wasn't
his
in,
colors were the same too.
I know, but just think about it. Maybe if your wife drove that car that day and they shot that car up, I don't know if I would have, I wouldn't have moved like that. I think that was a bad deal. But they spotted the car and knew his colors, and they got in behind him and followed him. And we had it
Yeah,
right
man.
when we first did it. When we got that video of that navigator, that navigator was truly there following Dolph and telling people where Dolph was.
Talking about the black navigator.
No, the white one.
Oh,
Guy at the gas station while Dolph was at the gas station.
oh. So that
He, yeah, he
when that
followed
person
Dolph.
stopped him at the gas station, that was the
Yeah,
same day he got killed.
yeah, same day. There was guiding them following or juking them people following Dolph and relaying information on where he was.
I mean, so that's basically how the duck situation happened. Only thing is they had to get the low.
No, Duck situation a little different because the dude who gave the low, he just happened to be downtown at that time too. And so he spotted Duck. It was a little different. He called and told him where Duck was, but in this case, they were following from the very beginning young Dolph. And when he was at the gas station, they were filming him getting out, pumping his own gas and stuff like that. And whoever was in there was relaying where he was, so they knew if he was at that gas station that he had to be going to Makita's.
But look, if you think about it, the duck situation, it was a bounty, right?
Yep, that's what they say. Bounty was paid and stuff like that. But Duck already said that. Duck had just did an interview saying that he heard they had 50 to 100 on top of his head. You
Him
know,
and Ruger, right?
no, I forgot who he did the interview with, but he did an interview talking about he knew he heard they had a bounty on his head, and that's why people question why he didn't go down there with guys. But Duck is in Chicago. I know why he didn't go down there like that. You wearing dreads and stuff, you automatically a target. And then you got the name FBG Duck, and you the most popular rapper on the south side of Chicago. You just don't need to be having 5 or 10 guys with you because then you're gonna be sitting out 3, 4 hours and the police searching you and trying to find stuff on you. So he tried to go get his son a gift in the quietest way possible. He went to the most wealthiest neighborhood in the entire state of Chicago. Nothing happens down there, bro.
But
Uh,
why didn't he get somebody to go there for him?
you know what? I don't think he didn't want to attract any attention. And if you're in Chicago and you're talking to 2 guys, that's mob action to the police. So you trying to go over to Oak Street, man, with 5, 6, 7 of those guys? No, bro, you don't want to do that. You want to go with what appears to be your wife or whatever it may be, because they don't want to let you in. The shops, even before COVID, those shops are locked anyway. And you have to make an appointment to go in those shops. You just can't walk in those places like that. You can't just walk in that Rolex dealership. They got to know you coming. You got to call them, and then they have to decide whether or not they want you there. That was before COVID. Now in COVID, it got worse. You're talking about a guy coming in there with dreads and trying to buy $400 pair of stocks and $200 T-shirt, because that's what they charge in that particular area. That's how high it is. That's no exaggeration. So you want to go down there as cool and quiet, as comfortable. You're gonna bring some unwanted attention on yourself. Kind of try and move in silence. He went down there with the young lady and hoping not to bring any, but the guy was there already and saw him. And then he called these other guys. And that's the sad thing about Muwab and them. Muwab and them are in jail. I don't know why this guy is still alive in jail. I never understand. He called those guys lying. All right. Muwab and them went down there on an emotional tip. This is why I've been telling men, be guided by your intellect and not your emotions. As men,
Yeah.
especially women, abusive, narcissistic bitches, they love to play on our emotions, and we act emotional. That's what they like doing. But sometimes you have to act on your intellect and not your emotions. So these guys jumped up because the dude told them the duck was down there with a bunch of guys. They were beating him up and all of this stuff, and he's lying. And the security guard is filming him talking and saying this stuff, and he's lying. Duck, I mean, did nothing to him at all. Period. So they jumped up thinking they were going down to help somebody, and then they tried to get in touch with Dirk's brother and all that kind of stuff. And he had D-Thing ain't been alive. He'd be in prison right now anyway.
Yeah, he definitely would have got knocked with them.
But Bond too. If
That's
Bond
how
been alive,
that's
he'd
how I'm
be.
figure out. That's why I'm trying to figure out why Dirk. I mean, I don't want him to get picked up. I don't want to wish jail on nobody, but why wasn't he at least questioned?
Man, if you think Dirk gonna get away with that, man, think twice. Remember, that case is not in the hands of the Chicago Police Department. It's in the hands of the feds. And just as Puffy just found out, it took them a long time, but they've been investigating Puffy since 2008. So
Yeah.
forget all the suits, all the lawsuits, Cassidy, Lil Rod, forget all of them. Go back to 2008, and what are they investigating Puffy on? Because a federal investigation opened up on Sean Puffy Combs in 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 2021, 2022, and finally 2023 and 2024, he finally gets arrested. He going away forever. They got all the information that they need, but they've been investigating him long before anybody filed in the suit. And that's the same thing in Dirk. They don't believe that King Von did that by himself. In fact, Dirk's name was mentioned and brought up at the trial.
So you think Von put up the 100,000?
Well, whether he did or not, he brought the money to Chicago, brought the chains, and it looks like it. So if he'd been alive, Von would be in prison for the rest of his life right now.
Who, Von?
Yeah, they found out he killed that girl. He had murder charges and on top of murder charges had he been alive.
Yeah, I don't think he would have been charged with Muwap and them, but I think they would have tried to pin, like you said, 2 of them murders on.
Bro, no, he would have been charged. They're saying he's the one who put the money up, the bounty on Duck's head.
So you think Muwap them would have snitched?
Hey,
you
bro,
think one of them would have snitched?
You're 20-something years old. You're talking about spending the rest of your life in a Supermax prison, 23 and a half hours every day. And then you did what you did for a lie? No, bro, ain't nobody I don't know nobody who ain't gonna try and make some kind of deal with the problem. Problem is, you should have did it before trial. That's what I'm saying now. Straight Drop is guilty as hell. If Straight Drop walks off or were to get off, Memphis be lit on fire, it'd be an explosion. He guilty as hell. You don't need to call another witness. His dumb ass need to cut a deal because he is going to jail. Straight.
Hey, Govan got a deal though.
What do you mean? What you think?
Nah, cause think about it. He was on what, house arrest or something, and you remember he was going out shopping and going grocery shopping. And you remember the jury?
But you got to take a look at you got to take a look. What people forget is it's easy for Govan to get a deal because he wasn't the actual shooter. Okay, let's talk about the actual shooter, not the people who played a part in it. The actual shooter is Cornelius Smith and Straight Drop. That's it.
Yeah.
So they did the murder. So therefore, maybe you were on the phone negotiating, but you didn't go do the murder. So my point is, it's easy for you to cut a deal because you weren't the actual murderer. You just knew about it. And so it's easy, but they're not giving Cornelius Smith no deal. And Tennessee is not giving Straight Drop no deal. Them boys are facing either life in prison or the death penalty. That's what they face.
Oh, they got a death penalty in Tennessee?
Tennessee, man, they pull a trigger, man. Man, you're in the South. That's why I say Southern niggas are not smart. Yeah.
Look. Nah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead. I'll go after you.
You're in Alabama, Tennessee, Texas, Florida, Oklahoma. They don't mind needling you up or electrocuting you, bro. And some of them places now they got both. You can take your choice, electrocution or take the needle.
Yeah. Yeah, they got
They
it down here in North Carolina too.
they even made a mistake with the guy and tortured him, and he got well and got better, and they still gave him the death penalty when he got better. They got him better and got him well because they messed up the lethal injection, which he should have got out of jail based on the law. But they fixed it up and still electrocuted him. They got him well, man. Only to
Yeah.
electrocute him again. I mean to give him a lethal injection again because they didn't have enough sodium chloride in it.
Yeah, cause you know the only reason Govan out because the young Dolph family gave them permission
Yeah, because
to
he
let
told him,
them out.
"Hey, man, you talking about your whole life." You know, a reality check hit when you get caught. One,
Yeah.
one, but three people gonna get any money. That's one thing. Cornelius Smith explained in this deal. It wasn't but three people getting money. He said me and Straight Drop was gonna split, and we were gonna get $50,000 a piece. And the guy who introduced them to Big Jook, he was gonna get 10,000 from each one of them. So he's gonna get $20,000 for telling them about the hit. And Straight Drop FaceTime Jook. They got that evidence, man. They
So
got the evidence.
why they didn't arrest Jook?
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. Before we even get to Jook, we got to talk about the other 200 people that was killed since Dolph died. Before you can even get the Jook being killed, the other 200, and not only that, they killed black youngsters' brother, and black. They say people riding him and killing more people down there, and this is just crazy. It's just nuts. All the cops had to do was try and say arrest is going to be made. We know who did this, and Memphis probably wouldn't have went off like that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Some going on, something ain't right.
They cleaning the house. They are destroying those neighborhoods, causing people in Memphis to move. Man, I can tell you some people who were born and raised in Memphis who have moved out of Memphis because of this and because of crime. And they're looking at those areas to put businesses and stuff in. This is how they do gentrification. You go down to places
Yeah.
like Compton and stuff now, you see white girls walking their dogs. You're like, where are all them black people at? That's what
They
Nipsey
got
was talking
white
about.
girls and cops.
Yeah, walking their dogs now. Shit, houses, 2-bedroom house costs you $1 million. That's why people
Yeah,
flee in LA. They flee in LA, man, moving to Texas and Arizona because they raised everything so high in LA, you can't afford it if your parents don't already own it.
yeah. I heard in Compton, man, it's really more Mexicans than anything.
That was the other thing. The essays were moving, they took over completely. And we still fighting amongst each other. So to listen at how this guy described what they did, I never, even in his description, man, he seemed so cold, so calculus. There you can see Dolph picking up. Look how clear the camera is. I'll bring this up because remember how blurry Nipsey Hussle stuff was?
Yeah,
All of a sudden, when it was trial time, it was clear.
yeah. But
Look
look,
at
Tanique, man, who was that dude in that white car though, man?
that white guy.
Yeah, cause you remember, man,
Yeah,
after Eric,
he was a former police officer. He was a retired LAPD officer.
but look, you know, Eric Holder dropped a gun in that white car.
Oh yeah, we know that. That's why his mother made mention and she recognized that car was gone. Here's Dolph
Yeah,
as he getting ready to pull up in there. Uh,
yeah,
that's his brother. Um, he still you can see that I forget the guy's name. He pulled up in his car. His brother shooting past his car. His brother shot both of them. So his brother Marcus held it down, man. I gotta give Marcus credit for standing on business, man. He did. He stood on business best he could. And of course, that's Cornelius getting out of the car, and he's telling you that's him getting out of the car. And that's his brother shooting him. He didn't shot them already. Straight drop and hit, but it grazed him. It didn't go in his body. But Cornelius wasn't so lucky. He got a couple of bullets on the inside of him. And that's what he was really doing down in Mississippi, trying to get those bullets out. He's looking at Doulp in the window and then shooting at him. And the other thing is, I tell people all the time, when you ride in your car, the reason why people choose to shoot you in your car, because that's the most vulnerable place. You got to be aware. Somebody following you too long, you got a rearview mirror, man. You got to look and say, okay, who the hell is this following me? To me, Dolph on that phone, just walking around like he ain't got no enemies. I don't get it because he been shot several times before, shot up 100 times here in North Carolina. Then he's shot in Los Angeles in critical condition. So these people are not playing with him, but just riding around on that phone and not aware of his surroundings. I was a little surprised at that.
Yeah, he really should have had his brother outside watching everything.
Yeah, one of them should have been facing the window. That's for sure. If Dolph if I'd have been in security, he'd have been facing the window. I'd have been standing right. He'd been facing the cookie thing. I'd have been right at that window and said, "No, man, you step at the counter." And I could play the video, but I didn't upload it, and you can see exactly what happened. You see the young lady who was ringing Dolph up. She actually seen them coming to the glass, and she ran to the back. So to me, that should have gave Dolph a signal. And I would love to ask Marcus why, when after she took the order, and she yelled and screamed because she see them coming up to the window, and she takes off to the back. I want to know why they didn't like move or fall down or react more swiftly, or were they just shocked by her
Hey,
action and were watching her?
he, hey, look, man, Dolph and his brother, they had to have their back turned because they didn't see the niggas.
Yeah, but the girl who's ringing him up for the cookies, she saw them, and she screamed when she saw them running up, and she took off to the back. So that would have immediately made me trigger, immediately when I saw her screaming. I'm a really triggered at that point in time. So I'm thinking that they were really trying to figure out what was wrong with her instead of looking behind him, and then they started to shoot.
I don't, hey, bro, I don't think they had no. I don't think he had nowhere to run, bro. I think that was a small little room. It's not a little room, but
No,
a little
he could have hopped.
business.
He could have hopped over the counter. There's a million and one things. Look, we being Monday morning quarterbacks, so there's a million and one things when you're looking at video you could have did, because he could have jumped over the counter and took off to the back himself. She seen two guys running up. She bust out and screamed and split and ran to the back. And so I think they were more concerned what was wrong with her instead of, hey man, look behind you, until they heard them bullets hitting the glass and bouncing off things. Then his brother pulled out the gun and started shooting back. So his brother was popping back. That's why they got
But he
shot.
ran out of bullets.
Yeah. But then we got that Draco and started tearing that car up. And Cornelius said that he was going to, have a shootout with the brother from the Mercedes Benz, but there's too many cars coming past, and he didn't want to hit nobody innocent.
Yeah, yeah, man. Hey, man, you gotta stay. Like you said, man, you gotta stay alert, bro. You gotta, when you somebody like that, like Dolph, how up he was,
Yep.
man, you gotta move militant, man.
Man, I promise you that these guys will not get away with that. And having that trial is just going to light Memphis up even more. Because now the right people definitely know who did this. So Memphis is definitely not a safe place to be right now under no circumstance.
What about you think it's gonna trace back to Gotti?
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to trace back to Gotti. In fact, I don't know why they ain't arrested him already. He should be arrested right now.
Think
He,
so?
he should be fully arrested. Yep. Cypress TV called this within 15 minutes. He said Big Joke paid for this to be happening. He did that the day that this happened to Dolph. He named everybody that was arrested, everybody, because he used to Well, he know them people pretty good. I just say that.
Oh, he from Memphis,
Yeah,
Cyprus.
Cypress from Memphis. Yeah, but because of his knowledge, he had to get out of Memphis, man, because it was at him because he's on YouTube talking about it.
Word.
He had to get out of there, bro, because he called it. Everybody he named, he went right down the list. Either they dead or they in jail.
Yeah.
And he said Big Jook did this, but he said Gotti gave him the money. That's what he said. Big Jook ain't got no money. He ain't no rapper. You know where that money came from.
I thought Big Jook helped Gotti start CMG.
Well, he probably did help him start CMG. He ain't got no talent. So the money was being brought in by Gotti, who do what most of us think to do. We hire our family. Dolph had his brother as security. So most of us try and hire our family and make them a part of what it is that we're doing. And I don't know if that's always a good idea.
Yeah. Hey, Tanique, you was in when you was in Greenville.
Uh, a few days ago, because I was hanging
Greenville,
down
North Carolina.
by Carolina Beach and all that water started coming. So we were going to drive to Virginia. So we drove up to Greenville and we went over to Virginia.
Oh, you was in Greenville, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's crazy. Yeah, that's where I'm located at.
Yeah, man, hit me up at my email, bro, at TaniqueReviews@gmail.com. Let's meet up.
All right, that's a bet, man. We
Yeah,
definitely can do something, man.
yeah. So,
Definitely need to do a live stream.
Daddy O, who is that, Michelle Daddy O? You're losing me.
That's the dude that help Young Dolph start PRE.
Oh, Daddy O?
Yeah,
Oh, they set that thing up right. I mean, they still making money. PRE is.
yeah,
And I think they still got Key Glock, too. And I think at least one of the artists' albums did pretty good as well too. But he set up his fiance and his children, and that what matters the most. And to me, he had his affairs in order. Unlike most people, that young man had his affairs in order.
yeah. Dolph, man, Dolph was different, man.
Almost like before his time, huh?
Yeah. I think being that he seen what happened to Nip and how Nip didn't have nothing set up, I think that made him stand on business
Maybe
when
you're
it
right,
came to leaving
because
something for his
this
kids.
stuff was tight, man. Because his kids are set, fiance set, and his mom is set. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, yeah, you're definitely right, man, about that.
So
How long you gonna be on though?
when you heard a little bit, when you heard, um, what was your thinking when you heard this guy say all of this, man?
On the stand today?
Yeah, I mean, this had to impact you some kind of way as a black man.
Oh, you were saying in that way.
Yeah, I mean, when you listen to this brother feel so hopeless and so desperate that he shot this man up like this for a few dollars that he could have made at a casino, but that was the only way he knew money. What was your thought of thinking?
I mean, at first I was thinking, bro, y'all threw y'all life away for $800.
$800. Where you get that? Where you get that from?
That's all they got paid.
Oh no, they got the 40,000.
When?
Um, they met up with well, actually, what happened? He actually testified on stand that Straight Drop went to pick up the money, and so he's gonna tell you that Straight Drop went and it was Big Jook's car, but Big Jook didn't get out the car. Somebody else got out the car and gave Straight Drop the bag. And that was the money Straight Drop was doing his videos and stuff with. That's how everybody picked him and knew he did it. They found the keys and stuff on him. He was doing the video, all the money and stuff. He dry snitching instead of going somewhere and sit down. They were so happy to have money. that he did videos on Instagram with all the money, and people was looking at his outfit and then comparing it with the video and saw that he still had the same keys hanging in the same place and stuff. So
Talking
Michelle's
about the
saying that
PRE.
yeah, Michelle's saying that Daddy O is suing Dolph kids.
I ain't heard that. I don't believe that.
In court, he said he got 800. So you're right. TT Baby said he only got 800, but Straight Drop got the bag. He did. Straight Drop
Yeah,
FaceTime Big Jook and in sign language let them know they got one, and then he gave another sign language to let them know it was Dolph.
yeah, but my thing is, why you up there snitching, bro? If they ain't gave you no deal, even if you caught, bro, like let them do their job.
You know, I think that they ain't got no job to do, bro. When the police show you did something, uh, they got a point scale that they go by. And when it's clear, cut, and concise that you did it, I mean, you did it. Ain't no need to make these people spend millions and millions of dollars of taxpayers' money. I mean, in fact, the only reason why Cornelius is up there is to testify against Straight Drop because Straight Drop is fighting it. He
Yeah, yeah,
already
he the
told
one
you.
took it to trial, right?
Yeah, he the one want to go to trial knowing that he's guilty, hoping that some legal strategy can get him off for killing the man. I agree with Cornelius. You busted. If he wasn't
Yeah,
busted at Marquita's Cookies, dude, you busted at the apartment building. They got your
yeah,
license plate. They see you bleeding. His shirt ripped apart because he's shot in the arm. Um, he down in Mississippi trying to get medical treatment. So he left Memphis and went to Mississippi. That's how they caught him in Mississippi, down there trying to get the hospital to get bullets out of his back and stuff. You busted, man. So I mean, I don't understand. Why you gonna lie? Try and get 50 years instead of 100 years or 30 years instead of the death penalty because they got the death
yeah,
penalty.
yeah. Cause you know the feds picked the case up,
And the
and
Martians were involved too.
yeah, and the judge ain't gonna show no pity if he found guilty.
Now you say Govan cut a deal, right?
Yeah,
Now, that's the one they found in Indiana, right?
talking about his daughter got killed in Texas.
Yeah, but that's the one they found in Indiana, right?
I don't know where they found him at, but I
I
don't
think
know.
whoever they found in Indiana is an informant. A lot of these kids don't understand that they have informants, man. Y'all have accepted informants in the gang.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dolph was snaked by his own people. Yeah, was snaked by his own people.
Who though? Who snaked him and is for his own people? Who she talking
Black
about?
people. Some of black people in general.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
You don't see
I
the
mean,
Irish killing the Irish. You don't see the Italians killing Italians. You don't see the Asians killing Asians. All you see is black people killing black people. Bro, you could be white and walk down 63rd and not a black person would say a word to you if you're white. A white person don't
yeah,
even fear walking down 63rd Street or walking anywhere in Chicago. And if you touch one, they will set the military loose on your ass. They have
hey,
no
look,
fear.
hey, look. Do you think that mentality we have towards each other is stems from slavery?
No, I don't think it stems from slavery. I just think that once that hopelessness hits you, when you have no hope or you feel like you're hopeless, man, the bottom just drops out. And when you listen to him talk, he ain't got no money. He's a drug addict. He's telling the truth. He's not lying. That's the way he feels. Feel like there's no other way. He's mad because he killed his son, and he's honestly telling the truth. And the sad part about it, I hear guys almost every day say the same thing, and they're looking for action because life is not where they want it to be, but they're not doing anything to try and change it. That's why I love that prayer so much. that says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, but the courage to
Yeah.
change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference between the two. That's so you don't go back and do the same thing all over again. So there are things you can change. It may take time. There are things in your life that you can change. I made some recent changes in my life, and I had to accept some things that I can't change. That's cool. I can't change them. I got to move on. That's fine. It's
Yeah.
all good. But there are things that I can change, and those things need to be changed so I don't make the same mistake I made uh, with those things that I couldn't change. So it's okay. You can change some things. It may be slow, but you can change some things. He ain't got no money. What's wrong with collecting cans? Slow
Yeah, my
process.
granddaddy do it.
That's what I'm saying. Slow process, but hey, you'll get there. There's a million and one ways. What's wrong with washing a car?
Yeah. Well, what's wrong with working a job?
Working a job, but he may be a felon. But that these are things you can do. You even though you're a felon, you can do these things. Don't make a difference to try and start getting some ends in your pocket. There are a million things you can do other than run around and kill people for
Shoot,
money.
donate some plasma, cut some grass.
That's what FBG Cash used to say. FBG Cash used to say, you know what? When he started getting some money, some people would hit him up for money. He'd be like, "Don't go do what I used to do. I donated plasma."
He donated plasma, cash donated plasma.
Yeah, they used to donate plasma to get some money. You know what I'm saying? I found that interesting that this kid, you know, you would think he'd be out trying to rob somebody. He said, no, he went and donated plasma and got him some money. So go donate you some plasma, what he said.
Hey, look. So let me ask you something, Tanique. They got plasma centers in 63rd or in the South Side.
Man, they need blood so bad. I know somebody who had a blood transfusion and they couldn't give him but 2 pints because they said they had no blood. They had no blood. And
Right.
now they screen you. So if you took the jab, they really don't want your blood. So the plasma money went up because they're looking for people who ain't took the jab.
Yeah. Shoot, plasma money went down, bro. Especially where I'm from, they
But
was paying out $40. Then it was $80. Now it's 55 every time.
well, it went up in Chicago. Trust me, they need blood. The state of Illinois. There's a major
How much?
hospital too, both
How
Western.
much y'all pay?
I don't know. I never gave any. But the fact of
Oh,
the matter is, I know this because I was there when this was happening, and the person told me about it. They need plasma bad. You know, you know, I guess all this COVID stuff backfired. They forgot about blood plasma and how it would affect people. And so there's really a plasma shortage.
yeah.
People will find out when they're in need. Now, if you're having surgery, they make you give your own plasma before you even had a surgery in Illinois. They give you blood now. So just in case you need some, they already got your blood on file.
Right, right,
Because if you need some, they may not have it.
right. I mean, who else you think they gonna put on the stand? Or you? Because I know this case not gonna last long.
One of the things I found interesting is what the prosecutor said in the beginning. He went on to tell the judge that there are a bunch of more crimes that are tied to this one, and we don't want to talk about those other crimes. So she said, okay, well, when it came to those other crimes, they were going to excuse the jury so they could talk about those other crimes. So they didn't want to influence nobody with these other crimes that's tied to this. There are a lot of crimes tied to this. So there are a lot of witnesses that they need to call, but I don't even think they should have a trial. I'm convinced Straight Drop is guilty. Cornelius is guilty. They shouldn't even be in trial. There shouldn't even be no people testifying on this.
Yeah, cause you. So you don't think? I mean, but think about it, bro. Man, being that they like you said they doing a trial now, bro, it's gonna make the crime go up.
That's what I'm saying. All they doing is infuriating Memphis even more. Now that everybody from the set know where it came from. Watch what happens.
Yeah. I think Dolph them people they already knew, bro, because shoot, they hit up Juke and CEO Teasy way before the trial started.
Yeah, and we're not gonna be talking no free Diddy. R. Kelly, you got it right, but no Diddy. No Diddy supporters here. I ain't supporting Diddy. No free Diddy. Free R. Kelly, that's true. Keep Diddy where he at.
Hey, you see his name though?
What? Yeah, I like to talk dirty, but yeah.
Yeah, my man, crazy.
Yeah,
That's a real name.
these are the trolls. You
Oh
love
yeah,
the
you
trolls.
always gonna have those.
Yeah, they love
You know you need trolls. You ain't doing something right if you ain't got haters and trolls.
There you go, those effing trolls. Oh man, so man, it was a very interesting day to say the least in the Young Dolph trial. This was very interesting, to say the least, man. It was. I mean, this is the most information in any trial that I ever heard come up in a trial. You ever heard this much information the first day of a trial?
Nah, not opening statements.
Boy, I was sitting there going, "Did he say that?" I mean, for real? And they won't show his face either. They made an agreement not to show Cornelius Smith's face. That's one reason why they shooting from the neck down. This is straight drop. He writing paper like he somebody was concerned whether or not he was taking the trial serious. And so he's trying to act like he's taking the trial serious. They talked about that in the beginning. So he's trying to look
Yeah,
assertive because somebody was concerned on whether or not he was taking this serious. I wonder why um, they were concerned about that. What'd you think?
yeah. Shoot, man. I think it probably ain't hit him yet. Reality probably ain't hit him that he gonna spend the rest of his life in prison.
Mhm. Rest of his
For
life.
clout though. He did it, bro. You did it for clout, bro.
I mean, for clout, man, that is incredible. And then it seemed like he was doing good because he had what that truck is. He got one too. What's
Talking
that?
about straight drop.
Yeah, he had a Navigator too. So he couldn't have been too bad.
But look, if he would have think about this, Tanique, if he would have been smart, he should have went told Dolph that it was a hit on his head. Maybe Dolph would have put him. He would have put him on the team.
You know, ironically, there's so many pictures with him with Dolph because he was a friend of Key Glock's.
So that was true.
Yeah, he was a friend of Key Glock's.
So I mean, so you got to. Man, damn, Glock.
Hey, that yeah, you know, I think they were trying to put him on. I don't know what would happen or why Dolph didn't take him, but they were trying to put him on.
Yeah, so that was his motive. That was his motive for probably killing Dolph. Like, nigga, you ain't signed me, so I'm about to blow you. I'm about to backdoor you.
But did CMG put him on?
I mean, they said Juke was gonna give him 100,000 in a record deal, right?
No, the 100,000 was for dropping anybody, but they managed to get Dolph. It was for anybody that worked at PRE.
And a record deal, right?
I don't know about the record deal. I ain't saw it on paper. That's something somebody said, but if it ain't on paper, I have a problem with it.
Oh, so nobody didn't say it on the stand.
Yeah, I ain't hear that on the stand. Not yet, anyway. Because if they did, they should give him his record deal.
Yeah, man. I mean, some of these dudes too, bro. These dudes that's killing these rappers. Y'all gotta think, bro. Y'all killing a public figure. So they're gonna go harder with solving the case because it's a high profile case. You ain't getting away with killing no rapper, bro.
Yeah, but do you think that this is going to help Memphis, or is it going to make Memphis worse?
Man, Tanique, Memphis was crazy before Dolph got killed. I mean, I think they had like 4 or 5 murders the week that Dolph got killed. So it's definitely going. I mean, being that they doing this case, like you said, and they know they got for sure 100% proof that they was involved, which they already knew. They about to thrash them even harder now.
Our anorexic sumo says if he signed Dolph, most likely he would still be here with us. I don't know. If he signed Dolph, you mean if Dolph signed Straight Drop? I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Because
I mean, it makes sense.
I don't know, man. Okay, let's go back to Nipsey. Well, you hear Black Sam wondering why Nipsey's boys didn't follow the protocol. Cowboy didn't follow the protocol. What's the other guy's name?
Cool. Grandpa.
Grandpa didn't follow the protocol. They ran. And Black Sam wondering about that. Protocol was when Hustle pull up, everybody get hoods and somebody get a pistol.
I think, but wasn't it in the afternoon, like 12 or 1 o'clock?
It don't make a difference. Black Sam said this was the protocol. And everybody knew it that was there. When Hustle pull up, you get a hood and grab a pistol. And when he pull up, he said that was the protocol, and everybody that was there knew it. So that shoots down the hamburger theory and everything. When he went and got the hamburger, if he knew he was there with Nip, he should have been in his hoodie with a pistol. That's what Black Sam said on Big Boy's channel. So my point
Say
is,
that one more time to me.
that's what Black Sam said on Big Boy's channel. That was the protocol. When Hustle pull up, everybody they know to get a hood, get a pistol, put inside their hoodie. When Hustle pull up, he said the people that were there, they knew it. Grandpa knew it. Cowboy came with him, I think, so he knows it. But yet, none of Nip's people shot back. So my point is, who's to say if he would have hired Straight Drop, that Straight Drop wouldn't have got him then?
I think, man, if Straight Drop should have told him, bro, like that was your way of getting on. You should have gave Dolph the word that niggas was out to get him, and he would have took a liking to dude because that's loyalty.
Michelle McMorris, cashier, says Dolph wasn't going to sign guys who would do anything for a bag of Skittles. Michelle, I'm not trying to laugh. I'm trying to be serious. Okay. Said Dolph wouldn't sign nobody who'll do anything for a bag of Skittles.
Nah, he won't.
Yeah, I had to agree with that.
Yeah, I agree he won't because he didn't.
Well, I guess until we can ask questions from Key Glock and them and find out. But I'd like to definitely talk to Marcus and see. He ask some questions, because only Marcus can answer these questions because he was in there. All that stuff. Marcus came from a dollar store. Marcus ran down from the car wash. No, Marcus was right inside the store with his brother.
Hey, do you think he gonna get on the stand?
Oh yeah, he has to get on the stand. He has to get on the stand. He has to
I
tell,
know he.
what happened. And one of the things they agreed to is not to show Dolph's autopsy, which is cool.
Are you talking about the picture?
Mm-hmm. They agreed not to show it. Him dead and stuff like that, so it wouldn't hurt the family. Michelle says they
Hey, look,
wanted a deal without putting the work in. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You could have put the work in, and you'd have got a deal. Seeing Dolph would have encouraged me.
but shoot, if they coming back and giving him some valuable information, ain't that's putting in work?
What you mean?
Like if Straight Drop would have went back and told Dolph that Juke them got the money on his head, that's putting in work.
Well, see, I don't know how Dolph didn't know that. He'd been shot in Los Angeles and was on a critical list. And Yo Gotti was there when he got shot. One of his men were charged for it. He took the blame for it, took the fall. He's also shot in North Carolina 100 times. And so Dolph knows that there's a bounty on his head. So Dolph has got to move a little bit more careful than he's moving. You got 2 previous times that people have shot you. So why are you walking around with 1 security guard? You should have at least 2. I would have had 3. And one of them would have been standing outside facing the outside.
Yeah, man, that's exactly how I would have did it. Like if I'm moving, man, if I'm rapping, bro, I'm moving like the president, bro. You ain't gonna be able to get close to me, bro.
That's what I'm saying. So some of this is mind-boggling, and like I say, unlike most people, he had 2 serious warnings, and he survived those. Did he get to the point to where he felt invincible? Is what I'm wondering.
Yeah, man. It makes you think too, man, because like like you said, he got shot the previous 2 times. Like, why would you paint all your cars camouflage?
Exactly. And the Rex Sumo says he would have liked 6 guards minimum, especially in his hometown. I agree with him. That's where they all get killed at, in their hometown. The key thing he said, which is what we said day one when we did the show, everybody know he was gonna be there for the turkey drive. And that boy said the
Yeah.
same thing. I was like, oh my God. He said they knew that he did this every year. So they knew there was a possible chance he would be giving out turkeys. And that's when they planned to go do it.
Why you didn't wear no bulletproof vest?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Only Marcus could answer these questions. Marcus was there. Marcus talked to him. He brought Marcus to hold him down. Okay, so those questions could be answered by Marcus. So one of the bigger channels will have to interview Marcus, and those kind of things, questions could be asked. I'd like to see Big Boy interview him after the way he was so cool with Black Sam. I think that would be a good thing for Big Boy to interview Marcus, and those questions could be answered. I thought
I don't,
Dolph had a lawsuit. A lawsuit against who, Michelle?
I don't think his brother gonna do no interviews.
I think he will explain to the fans. Even Black Sam, who's don't do interviews, and he told the fans, just hold on a little longer. More, he's gonna share more about what happened to Hustle because the Nipsey's fans really loved it. And
Yeah.
I think that Marcus understand by now that Dolph fans still buying his music so his kids can eat and stuff like that. And I think he'll do an interview if the person asks the questions right. Right.
Right.
Hey, Kyra. And Michelle said she thought Dolph had a lawsuit. Against who? Michelle be getting this information. I think you the police, Michelle. I always have. Hey, man, look, this is my girl, man. She's been with me a long time. But I'm telling you, man, she knows some stuff, man, that we don't know. She knows some intricate details about everything. I'm telling you. I mean, she is a wealth of not knowledge. I mean, if you check like where she's from, she's not supposed to have this kind of knowledge. But she got knowledge, man. She gets some very, very powerful knowledge about these events and stuff. I'm like, where do you get this stuff from? I'm like, man, she gets it. She gets it, man. I don't know how, but she gets it.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. Cause I was thinking like, why like dude said like Dolph should have had some security guards, man. Like
That's why,
you can't let nobody get up on you like that, man.
that's why I say Marcus is the only person who could even possibly, give any insight on that, saying that he was the guard. You can get to ask him, so Marcus, why you only have one of you, man? One in the store. Why do you have somebody else outside watching? Being in Memphis, I would have had somebody just to watch my car.
Yeah.
Because
And
they're
man, you got
free.
huh?
Huh? Got what?
Now what you were saying?
In Memphis, that's still your car, man.
Oh yeah. They be going crazy in Memphis.
Michelle said when he left out of the hospital in California, he had a lawsuit when he left out of the hospital in California. I don't
I
know.
ain't know that.
I ain't know that either. That's something I
I
guess
always, huh?
we got to look into that.
Hey, but Tanique, I always feel like, man, that Believe Me, Young Dolph video is kind of weird.
Really? Why you think so? Explain that.
It's just the way his eyes was looking, man. Like, I don't know if he was on some perks, on them drugs after he got shot or whatever. But that was the first video he released after he got shot.
The one with Snoop Dogg in it?
Nah. He put out this in I think 17. That Believe Me.
Man, I don't know, man. I guess I'm hearing people talk about like Julio's mom. Talk about he got tired of being locked in the house and stuff and couldn't enjoy his success. He didn't. It's like he didn't care no more because if they were gonna get him, they were gonna get him. How long can you be a millionaire and just lock yourself in the house, lock yourself in the house, lock yourself in the house? So somebody's shooting at you. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna stop rapping, stop traveling, stop making money, stop helping people? So at some point, I don't know. I guess he figured he just put something around him that should have worked. I mean, we play Monday morning quarterback. Looking back in hindsight, Marcus probably thinking, man, damn, I should have waited outside, going through the coulda, woulda, shoulda. But the truth of the matter is, when it's time for you to go home, bro, and God call your name, your body gonna answer, and you're going home.
Yeah. I ain't no running from that.
Ain't no running from it at all, period. Yeah, he said it when he got discharged, $1 million lawyer. Okay, so Michelle's giving us information we gotta look up and see who got the lawsuit money. So we'll be looking that up tonight. I thought I was gonna finally get to go to bed early morning, but nope. I'm gonna have to check into this lawsuit and see who got that money. And I don't understand why he just didn't stay in Atlanta. He lived in Atlanta. That's where he came from. He came from Atlanta.
Who, Dolph?
Yeah, he came from Atlanta. You let somebody else put that turkey drive on.
Oh, so he lived in Atlanta?
Yeah, he lived in Atlanta. That's part of the reason
Oh,
why they didn't get him, because he moved away from Memphis.
I thought he lived in Cali.
No, he had a house in Cali, but after being shot, he settled down in Atlanta, and they did pretty good. And like the boy said, they knew they had one chance, and he was gonna come to that turkey drive. And they guessed right.
But look, it goes back to what I was asking you, Tanique. Young Dolph and FBG Duck. I know they got store runners, bro. You supposed to have people to go out and get stuff for you.
Yeah, but you
Like,
gotta
bro,
put it real. A guy like Duck doing these little shows and racing Wisconsin and all through Indiana, traveling through the week, trying to build his career. How often do you get the chance to play with your own son and go? You want to do something, choose your own kid a gift, do something like that. You got one day off. You want to get that kid his birthday present and let that kid know it came from you. And I think again, he was drove by his emotions and not by his intellect. Intellect would have told you, no, I need protection. I got to call my guys. I would have had Ruger and all of them, with me down at that store. But his emotions, no, I'm just going to take my girl. She got a concealed carry license. I think they were in her car. So somebody just happened to be down there who recognized him.
but look though, Tanique. Hey, go back to what you piggyback on what you were saying. I ain't heard that last part.
I said, like I said, I'm learning more about men and emotions than men are in their intellect. He doesn't probably Duck did a lot of shows, man, in Wisconsin, Indiana. Building a name for himself, traveling through the Midwest. How often do you get to do something for your son? So his birthday coming up, I think he just low key wanted to go down with a woman and buy his kid a gift and get that gift to the kid. So uh, the kid don't feel like you forgetting it or forgetting him or her, whoever it may be.
But look, he he could have did that out of town, out of state.
He
You
could have,
can't do
but
that in
you know
Chicago,
what I
bro.
mean?
You got too many ops, bro.
He could have did that out of state, but he wasn't out of state. He may not have had a gig or anything at that time. He probably just recording music. And remember, Duck is in an unusual position. He's fighting guys to the um well, I guess I ain't got a map in front of me. He's fighting guys to the east of him. He's fighting two sets to the west of him, and those guys got millionaires. He ain't got there yet. He was fighting a losing battle.
But
I think it was Jimmy Henchman who told Tupac. He told Tupac, he told him, he said, look, don't start a war unless you got the money to fund it. Jimmy Henchman told Tupac that.
but I think Duck should have relocated, bro.
Yeah. And his
He
weed
should have.
dispensary, Daddy changed a lot of Dolph's LLCs. Okay. So Michelle's on it. Michelle, I know you've been in Memphis. I know you've been down there buying you a fat joint. Down there trying to get you some bubonic chronic to make you choke. That ain't no joke.
That's that Snoop.
Yeah, she's down there getting some bubonic chronic, man. I'm probably getting her some cess. She old enough to remember cess.
Yeah, yeah. But to me, what I was saying though, like all these rappers, bro, they got store runners, bro. They got dudes that they pay to go out and get stuff for them because they don't want to deal with fans. They don't want to deal with no enemies, people that don't like them. So they
Well,
might pay
you're
somebody to
forgetting
go
that
shop for them.
Doug went over on 75th Street and somebody let him out to get in the car with this girl. So the chick he was with was also, I think, his girl. So he probably wanted to spend some time with her too. So she just went with him. Uh, Probably use her opinion on what he could buy for his son, thinking like when they get out of there, they can get some them time. He was not expecting. Listen, if you knew the area I'm talking about, this is simply the most prestigious area in Chicago. That kind of thing. I tell you what, ain't nobody getting shot down there now. You know how
Yeah,
many
but
business?
Tanique,
You know how many business?
that's Chicago, Tanique.
You know how many multi-million-dollar businesses closed down there? How much taxes the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois lost? Multi-million-dollar businesses left because Duck got shot. I mean, these businesses were the reason why the downtown Chicago area is lit up the way it is. So many of those businesses left because the city failed to protect them and moved to other cities and took that money to other cities. Chicago never recouped behind that. Ain't nobody coming in Chicago paying no $100,000 a month to rent no facility no more. Duck's death stop all of that.
But that's my thing though. Like, why the world? Why the world did? Man, it seemed like Duck and Von they had the power to end the jump.
Mhm. No, they can't end something that started long before they began. They shouldn't have never walked in their father's footsteps. My father was an alcoholic. I chose not to be one. I despise alcohol,
But
but
they
I
was
want
the
to.
faces of it.
I don't care. If my father was a gangbanger, that's his point. You want to spend his life in prison? That's him. I choose to.
Now,
I choose to support society and do good. I don't want to be in a cell with 25, 30 other men all taking a crap at the same time. No, bro, your life wasn't meant to be lived like that. So my
but
point
if
in the
you
matter is they shouldn't have never walked into those footsteps and felt like they owed that to their parents. I'm sorry. You don't have to be like your parents, especially if it's not affluential and gonna cause you to be unalived or cause you to spend the rest of your life in prison. But in Chicago, yeah, it's just like California. You see 3 generations of people die for a street. This is my street, it's not your street. That's the United States of America street. Tell how you live on it. But you'll see 4 generations of people died for that street name. I thought it was the most craziest thing in the whole world. In Chicago, they like Duck Told Glad, and somebody just put that down here. He didn't want to leave Chicago. People in Chicago, man, some of them feel like when they get to a certain age, like the only thing they know is Chicago. They don't mind going visit somewhere, but they just want to stay in Chicago, regardless of how bad it is.
Yeah, I mean, it is a big city. I definitely want to go there and visit one day.
Well, it's a great place to visit. Great place to visit. But I don't recommend people to live in the city. Now, they got some other places surrounding Illinois that the average person couldn't even afford to live in. Beautiful. DuPage County, that's where FBG Butter got caught. That's why I live at Naperville. I wonder what the hell is FBG Butter doing in Hinsdale? I mean, like, they gonna stop your ass for nothing, okay? Now, all gangsters know you don't go into DuPage County for no reason. No girl, no
Then
nothing.
then he tried to get out and run.
I don't care
You know,
where he ran to, bro. He ran into DuPage County. That's DuPage County. They not having it. They gonna give FBG Butter a million years. Let me just share this
yeah.
with you about DuPage County and some of the other counties out there with DuPage, Will, McHenry. Do you know why former Governor Ryan of Illinois really went to jail?
Wow.
Because he freed all those people that were on death row. He pardoned the entire death row in the state of Illinois. First time it ever been done, and he was championed by people around the world who don't believe in the death penalty. Now, let's take a look at why he did it. He saw that the law was not fair. He saw that the margins of the law were disproportionately against Black people. His reasons were, you could go to Cook County, that's where Chicago is, and steal a candy bar, and they send you home. But if you went to Will County, you got 20 years. Went to McHenry County, you got 40 years. Went to Randall County, you got 50 years. Why is it that all these sentences like that were only towards Black people?
Yeah, because in Illinois, you only got to do 50% of your time, right?
No, it's 50 to 85%. And again, that depends on whether or not you take them to trial or not. That's what I'm trying to say about straight drop. Straight drop is a straight drop dead fool. He's guilty as hell. And I would be working with the prosecutor to see if, okay, at his age now, he's about 20 something years old. He take 30 years, he'll be out when he's 50. He maybe get a chance to see the light of day again and reflect over what he's doing. He in Tennessee, bro, Republican state, and he's looking at the death penalty. Unquestionable
I
death
don't,
penalty.
I don't think they offer him no pleas. You think they offer him some pleas?
You know, you have to first say you're guilty like Cornelius did. Cornelius know he's not going to
Oh,
die. He going to get a hefty sentence, but that sentence may be, he may get a chance one day to smell the air again. It may be 25 years. He was 30 years old,
yeah.
he'd be out at 50, you know? So my point is, he recognized the situation. Now, straight driver got a whole trial going. This whole trial is going for him. Cornelius just told you he was guilty. That's me. I shot young Doulp. That's me. I did that. I shot Adolph Thornton. Okay, fine. So we know his situation. Why is straight drop taking these people through a trial?
Yeah, when you know you're going to get burned.
Ain't no hope for him. Yep. Omaha is like that too. in Douglas County. It's like a free fall and I didn't know Douglas County was that bad. I gotta watch out coming through Nebraska, man. Yeah, he's in Nebraska. I was about to take a job about a year ago in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Yeah, man, Nebraska. But I can't understand why. You know, again, straight drop is taking these people through this trial and stuff. It don't make any sense to me.
Yeah, he wasting taxpayers' money.
Yeah, he guilty as hell. I mean, like I said, you see the guy getting out, hands falling down, see his drawers. He at the apartment getting up
Yeah,
gauze and getting peroxide. They got a whole Walgreens pharmacy. They delivering yellow bags and stuff.
yeah. I mean, they basically did the same thing that duck shooters did,
The exact same thing.
and that's why I don't understand how them niggas didn't learn that.
Well, no, you ain't peep game yet. Well, let me help you out. Almost 80% of the black people in Chicago are from Memphis in Mississippi. So they just think alike. You know, yeah, that's where all my cousins down there in Memphis and stuff, right in that same
I,
area.
I ain't know that.
Yeah, most of the people in most of that was the whole migration in the 40s. My parents, when they left Mississippi, they came to Chicago, on the hopes that they would get some of them construction jobs. My dad built all those buildings downtown Chicago: Sears Tower, Standard Oil Building, John Hancock, Marina City, NBC Building, all those buildings you see highlighted in Chicago skyline. My father did build those buildings, and
That's good,
and so
man.
all those guys in Mississippi, they left the sharecropper field, and they came to Illinois to do that kind of work when we had strong black families.
Yeah, seemed like
So
the black people were stronger back then.
that's what my dad used to say. My dad said something one time to me that shocked me. He said, I don't know what happened, but he was a news junkie, so he watched the news. He said that sometimes he feels so sorry for his grandchildren that he almost wished it was slavery. I said, why? He said, ain't no difference between slavery and what he doing now. He said, I'm a slave now. He said, you think they paying me what I'm worth? All the hard work I'm doing? He said, no, they're not. He said, we work 5 days a week. He said, we made 10 cents for 900 pounds of cotton, if you can believe that's possible. 10 cents. He said, with that 10 cents, though, they was able to own a house. They were able to have a
Yeah,
car. He did. He said, there wasn't no drive-by shootings and any of that stuff. He said, compared to the way they live, we live bad. We could walk out the door and don't even know we're coming back. He said they knew they were
yeah,
coming back. He said on Saturdays, they went to the juke joints, to the clubs, had a good time. On Sundays, they went to church, and that was a regular routine. They didn't have to deal with the drama that we had to deal with.
yeah. I think it's just the influx of guns and drugs, man. It just destroyed a lot of people in the ghetto, particularly black people.
No, because they had guns back then with my dad. They had Tommy guns. They didn't even have no gun laws. But that kind of violence, it just wasn't inside the people. We had to look at where this violence come from each other. That when I see you on the streets, I'm gonna do you. And then to find out what really hurt me about the whole Duck trial. If Duck went out like a gangster, then he went out like a G, regardless of what it was. Okay, but he didn't go out on no G stuff, man. He went out on some pussy. The dude was mad because Duck went out with his baby's mama 2 years before. That's why he
Yeah,
did that. That's why those guys are in jail. Wasn't no gangster stuff going on. They ran down there looking for 25, 30 black men. They get down, ain't nobody ever Duck. And they play the tape of this guy lying in court. And they looking at him now realizing they threw their whole life away for nothing.
but
Literally.
they shouldn't have did it anyway, though. Y'all know what you call it? What they call it? Oak Street.
Oak Street. But no, if you're my boy, man, and you call me and somebody like grounding and pounding you, man, I'm gonna come. You know, we back in the day we used to have pages. When we get that certain number in that pager, oh bro, no, we coming. You know, but in this case, wasn't nobody doing nothing, but you lying to these guys on the phone that they are. So they coming
But
to
look,
help.
even though they came to me, they didn't have to kill Doulp. They could have scared them off. They could have jumped them. They could have. No, they ain't have to shoot him. They ain't have to run up and shoot him.
You're right. Michelle says she think when Dolph announced that he was under investigation, he never thought they would run up in broad daylight and do that. That's a good point too. He was under investigation, so why would anybody come and kill you?
Under investigation for what?
Just because he was a rapper and had a lot of money.
Oh. But look, even with the
I'm sorry, Michelle said it was drugs. I told
oh
you, she be knowing,
yeah,
man.
yeah, they did say Dolph was trapping.
They never proved it, and they sure never brought him to court.
Yeah,
But weed is legal in Memphis. I thought, Michelle.
I don't know. I don't think so though.
I thought weed was legal in Memphis. I got to find out.
Show ain't legal in North Carolina.
Well, not in North Carolina, but Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina is not. But it's on the ballot, I think, to be legalized.
Man, they need to, man.
I mean, why would you go to jail and you got stuff like this out here?
Kicking big shit with my feet on 'em. I ain't even gotta touch the bitch cause her baby daddy beat on. No, for real, beat her ass, then he.
Yeah, you want to go to jail, spend the rest of your life in jail? I don't think so, bro.
Kicking big shit with my feet on 'em. I ain't even gotta touch the bitch cause her baby daddy beat on. No, for real, beat her ass, then he.
Sometimes you gotta remind men of what life really is. I'm starting to think.
So you wanna talk down on the bitch, and you wanna talk shit? Like you never ate this pussy, or sucked this clit? Nigga, please, I fed you every night on schedule, and your shit wasn't even all that, but my heart wasn't big enough to tell you. Guess I misled you, guess I was wrong. Shouldn't have went through your phone, wouldn't have seen all them hoes in your pictures. All of them bitches been blowing your line, but they say they're the names that remind me of niggas. When your ass gets so smart, when you start breaking these hearts, when you gon' act like a man, stop being that nigga. When you gon' play your part, play your role, when you gon' stay in your lane. Damn, maybe I'm just telling your business. Don't worry about the wrong damn things, cause I've been single for 2 weeks. Thirsty niggas always trying to get me, but I see you trying to get these bitches too. I guess that's what fuck niggas do. Yeah.
Sorry, Michelle. I thought that they took Dolph's money and they took all of his jewelry. Came up to about $70,000 at the airport when he got busted. And his lawyer just happened to be there with him when this happened. I don't know why his lawyer was there, but he just happened to be at the airport with him. And his lawyer eventually got his jewelry and money back for him. Got it all back. Dolph was supplying a lot of people in Memphis. He was even supplying Jack at one time. Yeah, but maybe he was, but they didn't bring no charges against him. And he got his money back and got all his money back and his jewelry. They didn't keep no percentage of it. Whoever his lawyer was got all that stuff back. So
Yeah,
you
I think that nigga Dolph was trapping, man.
think so?
Yeah, I think he was trapping on the side.
Maybe he was, but that still ain't got no business for his ops to kill him like that.
Nah, man.
Man, he was even supplying Jack at one time. Juke, that's right. He was supplying Big Juke at one time.
Yeah. He said that on the song though.
Man, my favorite song by Doulp is Break the Bank.
Break the bank.
Yeah, that's my song, man. Him and
Hey,
Cardi B's husband.
hey, you got to download that on the river. Him and Wiz Khalifa.
Okay, Arsenic Anorexic Sumo says, yeah, I think he was too. He mentioned trapping in his music as well. Yeah, maybe I don't know. The reason why I don't know is because um, moving to Atlanta don't seem like a good idea because weed is illegal in Atlanta for sure, and they still giving out hard time for just weed in Atlanta. And please don't go to Texas for a half of a little small marijuana stick. Texas will give you 20 years. So
Yeah, I think.
if
Not
you
what you
smoke
were saying.
weed, if you smoke weed, please understand where you're going as you're passing through states because some of these states ain't playing. A joint will get you some time in jail.
Yeah, the
So that's
police
why
they don't really be tripping about weed down here.
I wouldn't take any chances. If it's illegal in the state, man, I wouldn't take any chances. Michelle
Nah, I
says that's
don't.
why he was under investigation. I don't think he should have been under investigation for that.
Yeah, Dolph, man, he was definitely doing big things. I didn't even know he was getting that much money, man.
Well, you got to realize that Dolph come from up under Gucci Mane, and that's how he really got you know uh pushed out there. Offset, he
Yeah,
did that record "Break the Bank" to Offset, man. Dolph made a lot of money as an independent artist, where almost 100% of the money was coming to him when he blew up. So you can't take a cat who just made 50, 60 million dollars and tell him he's gonna sign a loan for $22 million. There's no such thing as upfront money. That's a loan that you got to pay back.
yeah.
And
Hey,
it didn't make any sense to him. He wasn't being cocky and arrogant. He just made $50 million by himself, receiving 100% of his streams because he didn't have a contract. And people took on to it. So why now would he come sign a $22 million contract, which is just a loan you're giving him on the first album that he releases? It has to pay that $22 million back first, or he goes right into debt automatically. He didn't need it.
hey, but look, do you think the reason for him being killed was because he was trying to buy half an empire?
No, bro. I think the reason why this whole thing happened is because the other side was under pressure by the music industry to do it. And this is the problem with the music industry. They'll hire you knowing you're a part of a set and then turn around and give your enemies a contract. But in your contract, remember, you also put up $100 million insurance policy. So I give you $10 million right now. You give me $100 million insurance policy because I'm gonna put you in the same atmosphere with your enemies, which is gonna kill you. Either you die, or they die. I'm still collecting $100 million insurance policy.
Yeah,
Don't make a difference. Both y'all die, then I got $200 million. I'm not giving your family none of it. That's what's
yeah,
wrong with the
man.
industry. So they putting pressure on them other guys to come through because Dolph kicked against the industry. Dolph was, like you say, just like Nipsey. He was keeping his own masters. He wasn't selling his masters. He wasn't doing anything. King Von wasn't selling his masters. They didn't get King Von's masters till he died. Dirk called his sister and got King Von's master.
Yeah. Also, Dirt got Von mess.
Yeah, his sister gave him up. She didn't know what she was doing, but I guess she didn't want to be killed either. Who was trafficking,
I
Michelle?
ain't know that.
Don't tell me that you think Dolph was doing some puffy shit, trafficking.
She probably talking about drugs.
Or drug trafficking? Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know, man. Just because you get on a plane and you got yourself a pound of weed because you want to take your weed with you. I don't know if that's trafficking. Now, if you want to order weed from like Snoop or anybody, you can go right online and order it, and it come to you in mail. As long as it's under a pound, it is not illegal, not even in North Carolina, because the federal government has legalized marijuana. The feds have. Now, that don't mean your state has, but the federal government has legalized it. So, since the federal government has legalized marijuana, you get on it with 3 pounds on your plane. What's the problem? To
It
me,
depends on which state you bringing it in, right?
and to me, that don't work. To me, the problem in the United States of America is the United States of America is not united. These states are acting independent. I think the federal government should crack down on that and force states to obey the federal laws, not just when they want to lock up black people. So since the feds said that marijuana is legal, every freaking state there is should legalize marijuana and not put nobody else in jail. Because it's a federal right that you have that you could have marijuana.
Hey, so you think all states should be their own countries?
At one time it was. There wasn't but 13 states, and you happen to live in one, a colonial state. Any state with the word colonial, meaning it's a part of the original 13 states. And before that, they acted as their own country. That's one of the problems Texas have. Texas was the only state that joined voluntarily. It didn't have to. Texas had a military, Texas still has the Texas military. You don't have to go into the United States of America's military. You can join the Texas military.
Yeah, it seems like Texas and Virginia and California like the last three independent real states.
And Texas filed a few years ago to disassociate itself from the United States of America. That would have made the Texas governor a president over Texas.
Yeah. I think maybe we need a new system, man.
Look it up. That's why he invested in his own dispensary. Well, I think that Marathon OG set all those guys to flight when Nipsey was doing those videos and growing Marathon OG. But that's because the state of California completely legalized marijuana and allowed felons, especially people who sold dope, to actually operate. Now, that's why they legalized marijuana.
Right.
So the guys they put in jail and stuff over marijuana could sell it. Illinois is the only state that I don't know of any felons owning a pot dispensary, just big white corporations. If you fly in drugs, that's trafficking. Well, that's what some people would say. I think if you fly and you're selling it, maybe. But I think if you're flying with your own stash, let me explain what I mean. I don't do drugs, neither do I want to. I could care less. But here's the situation. We got a real fentanyl crisis. All right, let's not just forget that rich homie Quan just died because he bought some poison. All right. You're in a situation where you can't trust these stores and can't trust where you're getting this marijuana and stuff from. So since they legalize it, why can't you fly with your own stash so nobody gonna poison you with fentanyl and stuff that they putting inside marijuana? So I don't think that should be trafficking if you flying and this is just for your own personal use with your crew. But if you flying it to deliver it to somebody in another state, which they'll have to prove that was your intention, I can understand it. But just because you flying with some marijuana, I don't think that that's drugs. And neither do I like what they're doing in Atlanta. Atlanta with its crooked ass. Well, I hate Atlanta. Sitting up there, the Atlanta Police Department waiting till you pass security to pull you over to find out how much money you got. And if you got a few $1,000s, they literally take your money and you can go to your flight or you can be arrested for them in suspicion of why you got a couple of $1,000s in your pocket. And the reports are they've taken as much as $60 million in the past couple of years from regular people. Now you got to hire a lawyer if it's worth it, depending on how much money you got. Go through the process of trying to get your money back. They do this every day. The fucking police in Atlanta are robbers.
Hey,
Legalized
look.
robbery. Bro, you know what I'm saying? The damn police is legally robbing people in Atlanta. You just going through the airport, you got $2,000 in your pocket. They come and take your $2,000. You say something, you miss your flight, go to jail, or you just keep on going on your flight. And they get to keep that money. And they've taken $60 million from the populace.
So, hey, look. So, is it true that in any airport you can only have a certain amount of money?
That's not true because Afeni Shakur got caught with $1 million going to Africa, Soweto. And they gave her money back. My
Oh, so
point is,
you can't
it,
travel with it, but you can.
it just depends on the state. They're doing it in Texas now. Texas, when you land at Dallas Love Field, they randomly select people and want to know how much money you got in your wallet, how much money you got in your pocket. And if it's of a few $1,000s, they are allowed to take it and keep it. And you have
Yeah. So,
to fly back to Texas, get a hotel room, look for a lawyer, and go to court and try and fight to get your money back and prove how you made the money. But in Atlanta, $60 million has been taken by police department from regular people, going in women's purses, going in men's wallets and stuff. The police department in Atlanta are robbing people at the airport.
I think they doing that in New York too, because I seen that on the National Geographic Channel.
These are all facts. They're robbing people, man. I can't believe it. The judge says that the governor legalized it because they wanted in running an opening dispensary. It's about money. The governor getting their cut. The government's getting their cut. Listen, are you talking about in the state of Georgia or all states? Because some states ain't doing this. Understand what I'm saying? You could be a Sunday school teacher. They randomly check you how much money you got, and you say I ain't got number $10. They actually go in your purse and go in your wallet, search it, and see if they can find money. And if they find any money, they take it. You could have receipts from the casino and everything. They don't care. They take it and they get to keep it.
Yeah, the government they got tired of the hood making all the weed money.
Man, but they taking folks' money who are retirement checks, social security checks. They're not just taking weed money. They're robbing innocent people. The new thing I got it shows that over 90% of the people are innocent people. They may have got a settlement from a car accident. If you got a settlement from a car accident, it's $20,000. You go to the airport in Atlanta and they call you out and you got that loss. They don't care that you got a receipt that was lawsuit money. They keep your money.
Yeah, man. Hey, like Ice Cube said, everything's corrupt.
This is too corrupt for us to be in a police state, the whole country. And they taking money that you legitimately earned.
Because, like you said earlier, Tanique, they too busy worrying about what's going on overseas than fixing their own country.
I'm telling you, watch, some bad things gonna happen because folks don't get tired of that. But nevertheless, we took a look at the Young Dolph murder trial. So if you guys are not busy during the day, you can watch it on Law Crime. Watch a waste of taxpayers' money because Cornelius Smith has solved the whole thing already and told everything that happened. We know that him and Straight Drop killed Young Dolph. And there's no need for a trial, but Straight Drop wants a trial anyway, hoping for a miraculous miracle, which it's just not going to come. He's guilty as hell. And I don't care how much time they give him. I think this is the first time I hope the black man go to jail. I hope they give him life in prison. I don't care if he get the death penalty. He took life, and you can't give a life back, so you shouldn't take a life that you can't give back. So I hope he get the same thing. I hope when they find him guilty that they give him death penalty in Tennessee for what he did to young Dolph. That's just me. That's how I feel. Man had kids, a wife, mother, family, brother, and you killed him for nothing.
I
I feel
I think
nothing.
I think Tanique, man, they should pass a law. If you kill somebody, you should automatically get the death penalty. That's anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They not gonna do it though.
But we get these damn politicians that play with y'all mind and make you think that, at the last minute, these people are innocent. And I'm talking about cases that are proved when you see a person kills me on video and states, I'm going to stop the death penalty. Now, California, it was not a death penalty state, but at times it changed to kill people it want to kill. So on the Schwarzenegger, it became a death penalty state just long enough to kill Tukey. He didn't kill Charles Manson. Why?
Yeah, you're right, man.
He didn't kill. Everybody wondering why black people go see Arnold Schwarzenegger's movie. Man, I slapped the shit out of Arnold Schwarzenegger if I saw his ass walking around.
Yeah, he killed Turkey, man.
Yeah, he did. That's what we do. We support the enemy. All the decisions his crooked Australian or German ass could have done. He gonna kill Turkey, who did so much good behind jail, trying to stop kids from joining gangs and stuff. Award-winning books and stuff. Changed his life completely. But he couldn't wait to
Yeah,
execute him. But Charles Manson lived out till he finally croaked and shit and died.
and that happened in California.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Charles Manson murdered was influential in murdering a Hollywood actress and several other people and stuff. He lived and they interviewed the hell out of him. I don't think I ever saw an interview from Tookie in jail. But they kept Charles Manson in the light. Look, the guy who shot Robert Kennedy, Sirhan, is out of jail eating ice cream.
talking about Ronald Reagan.
No, I'm talking about Robert Kennedy, John F. Kennedy's brother. The guy who
He
killed him, they
killed him.
let him out of California a few years ago. Let him out of jail.
Oh man,
And the guy who shot
that's
Ronald Reagan,
crazy.
hell, he was at an ice cream stand with me in Virginia one time. He lives in Virginia.
Yeah,
Got a
that's
wife
who I
and
thought
everything.
you were talking about.
No, I'm talking about the one who shot Robert F. Kennedy's brother. I'm talking about John F. Kennedy's brother, Robert. Sirhan.
What
He's out
kind
of
of
jail.
name is that?
He was a guy from the Middle East, and he shot and killed Robert Kennedy, but now he's out of jail. But at the time he was in jail, he was in there interviewing and doing fine. But they let Tookie do none of that. How come?
Yeah,
And we'll pay
it's
$5 to go see Arnold Schwarzenegger at the movie. Man, Arnold Schwarzenegger can go to hell.
hey, look, what about that other situation?
Which one?
Um, we talking about uh, dad, who was that, man? He got like a case going on too, or had a case going on. I forgot, man. It slipped my mind up, man.
I don't know, Michelle. I think you're the police girl, Michelle. I mean, for the first time, Michelle dropped some knowledge. It was intricate knowledge. It was like it's like that little thing they got out, Kim Porter's diary. It fills in the blanks. It just don't go A, B. It goes A, and this is how we get to B.
Right.
And that's what it seems like is really hard to find in anything. But she drops that knowledge and tell you how A actually got to B. Just like with Kim Porter, the memoir, The Last Words to Kim Porter, you should read it, man. You can find it online. People upload it. You can read it if you want to. It's got some filling details in it. Shocking. It's shocking too. You got to read it slow because if you read it fast, you're gonna move right past it. But to think that because Puffy wanted to run a train on her, Puffy, Tupac, and I forget somebody else. Puffy, because she dated Tupac a while ago too. So her and Tupac had a thing going on. And there was another guy there that she dated. I don't know if it's Albie or whoever. I don't remember who in the book, but And Puppy was like, okay, we all knew her individually. How about all of us knowing her together? You go first and you go second, and we see who go the longest. and Pac didn't like it and got up and defended her honor as a woman. And she said it was sometime after that she came into the office and he was talking to Jimmy Henchman and talking about they need to waste Pac, and then the Quad Studios situation happened. I'm sorry, bro, you just took me from A to B, and I'm like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. He was always afraid of the Pac was going to tell people that he was like that. And so pretty much
But
that
look,
book said he organized the hit on Pac. He called Henchman. He organized a hit on Pac. And Henchman and Puppy was friends during that time.
but Puff, like, why the world would you want to share the mother of your children with another man?
To destroy any self-confidence, any self-esteem in her completely. Once you do something like that, man, you lose control of yourself. You just don't give a damn unless you get some serious therapy and stuff like that. I don't understand why, as fine as Kim Porter was, another man didn't step up to the plate.
Yeah,
And go, you know what, this is my woman. You can take care of your kids, but this is my woman. Here your kids, bro.
I think they probably was scared of Puff.
Man, please. Who's scared of Puffy, man, please? You know what? I like some of the stuff that Mate's been saying for years. And I like what Craig Mack said. Craig Mack said he had to disappear because he didn't want to kill this man. He didn't want to. He could have and had the weapon to do it, but he didn't want to do it. But the guy kept pushing him. And so, he heard a gospel song and it turned him around. He went a different direction.
Yeah,
And quiet as kept. One day I may do a story on Craig Mack because I don't like the diagnosis that they gave him. I don't believe it.
I think Puffy, man, Puffy got a lot of bodies under him, bro.
Like the cop said, they've been investigating him since 2008. They got enough evidence to lock him away for 2 lifetimes, even without
you
any of
think
this new stuff.
so? You think he gonna get the Jeffrey Epstein treatment?
No, because they're already making sure he can't. They're already making sure special guards are there. The room is special. There's nothing for him to hurt himself. I don't think they want him to suffer. Somebody's behind this and turn him in. You can
Oh
call it
man,
the liquor company or whatever you want to call it. Some people say he sued the liquor company. Personally speaking, I think it's Clive Davis. Clive kept warning him. That's why Clive didn't let him open back up Bad Boy. It belonged to Clive Davis. But he kept feeling like he was superior. He was invincible. And, hosting these parties, and he started getting beside himself. And in that business, man, you cannot bite the hand that feeds you. Trust me, you just can't do it. You may get
nah,
away with
man.
it somewhere else, but in the music industry, entertainment industry, you cannot bite the hand that feeds you or you're going to pay. Nevertheless, to all my subs and followers, one nation.
That's
One
what we
nation.
see Jay-Z has done. That's what we see Puff has done. The music don't become how you pay the bills. It's a lot of pressure off of it. You got other things bringing in income, you can make music.
This new song with Nip and Jay, what the fuck, I got something to say. What a slap in the fucking face. Like, what the fuck is going on? Who told you that song and did you know all along? And why did your bitch sell that painting 2 weeks after he was gone? I'm gonna tell you what it feels like. It feels a little fishy. Feels like something's going on ever since that John Legend song and college prediction of a Grammy. If you ask me, I can't stand him. Seems a little weird. Question number 1, why is there no blood? Question number 2, Sam left in the AM is true, but you're talking about the shits all up in the afternoon. Don't trip, we're gonna find out the truth soon. Who did what to who? Did they plan to eat the chili fries or was it just a surprise? Can you see the lies of witness in a cowboy's eyes? Are we gonna just sit here and forget? Are we gonna ride like Nip said? It's a little weird that the judge quit. Handing out immunities like candy makes me sick. I got a lot of unanswered questions like, why's the footage all grit and I can't see shit? Who the fuck is that white man in that white BMW? Probably was the FBI. Yeah, I noticed that white guy, and I noticed the car wasn't in the pictures when they showed them afterwards. They thought we would forget. They got that shit backwards. They weren't expecting me to drop this track and raise all these questions with my Mac words. I'm really mobbing through LA smoking backwoods. I've been doing this shit all my life. TMC, AMI. You might just see an empty parking lot when you ride by. Well, me, I see way more. I see an independently owned store. I see the community taking power back, whether you're white, Mexican, Asian, or black. As long as you're not blue. Good ones, there might be a few, but from my life experience, I'm like, fuck that. I'm not defending Eric, but what's the fucking delay? They requested a quick trial, it's been over 800 days. They try to distract us in so many clever, creative ways. Yeah, you got your Grammy, and now you're a billionaire. But what about the families that are still living there? Seems a little unfair, just a little something to compare. I never seen a fireman wearing a bulletproof vest. Yes, the shit to me seems a little suspect. The shit's a little weird. Crisis actors taking away our fathers, making our child some bastards, killing creative men and women for their masters. The waves that Nip wrote in, you didn't know when it began. A bunch of new chapters, you didn't think about what would happen after. We would put the pieces together on your transparent bullshit. I can see right through it, like the clear blue sky in the LA sunny weather, where the palm trees swing side to side and we ride together on a white horse or a double R hearse in a foreign car. Either way, you gotta be on guard, because they're on tap for anyone who's brown or black with tats. Everybody sees it, but nobody wants to attack. It's sad if you ask, we all gotta blast back. We're in the game, though we can't touch the ball. Seems a little unfair if you ask me, that's all. So take your ignorant ass to YouTube and type in Tanique Views to get the real news. We're doing the shit for justice, not views. Sharing knowledge and coming together, that's the real tool. He tried to lead us to the lake, so don't sleep on the knowledge that he gave to me and you. He wanted us to learn from his mistakes, so with our new knowledge, good decisions we could make. And also one thing I wanted to say myself, they killed Dr. Sebi because he was teaching health. Assassins, they come in all shapes and sizes, big booties, hips and thighs. Oh, you're Diddy's girl, right? Oh yeah, John Legend, some things happen at your video shoot. I got a couple questions for you. All those strings you pulled, you still can't make a rap hit. You punk ass little bitch, you probably got a little dick. All the shit that you have to did. This new song with Nip and Jay, what the fuck, I got something to say. What a slap in the fucking face. This new song with Nip and Jay, what the fuck, I got something to say. What a slap in the fucking face.